This is a short video on how to create a quiz in Google Classroom. So the first thing we'll do is we'll access our Google Classroom. I'll use this demo class today, and you want to go to your classwork page and then create. So you have options here. We'll use quiz assignment. That's because in quiz assignment is directly linked to the Google Forms. So we'll use that to create our quiz. We'll call this introduction. Let's say that you just taught a lesson on how to write a good introduction for the research paper, and you want to create a short quiz to assess how well your students understood the lesson. Next, we'll click on blank quiz. And now you're ready to create the quiz. First, we'll give it a title at the top. So this is how it'll look in your folder, the classroom folder. And we'll also get the title here. Okay, you can also go to customize theme if you want to add a picture. So we'll make this a little more academic looking. Okay. All right, so let's look at the questions. We'll start with question 1. On the right, you have the different types of questions: short answer, paragraph, multiple choice. There's several different options here. So we'll start with the multiple choice question. And we will let's create a true or false. Okay, so we'll create an easy question here. So option 1, we'll call this true, and then option 2 will be false. Okay, so here's your two options. Next, you want to go to answer key, and we will choose true as the correct answer, and then we'll give it a point value. Let's give it, say it's worth 2 points. All right, then you click done, and there you have your first question. So if we go to our preview icon up here, we can look to see what this looks like. Okay, so that's what this multiple choice true or false question looks like. You can choose one or the other. Okay, now we're ready for the second question. So you can click the add button here for the next question. But let's say that you have, maybe you'll have your entire quiz will be multiple choice, and so you'll have the same answers. And so you don't want to have to write out the exact same answers for every question. What you can do is you can go down here to duplicate, and you basically duplicated the exact same question. So all you need to do is, the answers are the same, you just need to change your question. So let's change our question, but we'll keep it true and false. Okay, so the question is, every introduction should have a recommendation. So that's false. So we go to answer key, we can change the answer to false. It's 2 points. Click done. And there we have our second question. So now we're ready for the third question. Something else you can do is you can also import questions. So this is really helpful if you, let's say you have a review lesson and you want to, maybe you want to choose questions from several different previous lessons. So you can borrow questions from other quizzes. So I already created a quiz on introductions, and here's all my questions for that. So I'll just choose one here. So you click on the question that you want to select, and you just click import question. Here's the question. This was also a multiple choice question. So now we're ready to add another question. So we'll click add. And let's look at some of these other types of questions. And just to save time, I already created a quiz. We'll just look at another quiz and we'll see what these different types of questions look like. So let's look at checkboxes. Okay, so here's a checkbox question. which of the following belong in an introduction? Select all that applies. So you can select however many answer the question. Next is a drop-down question. So that's right here. So you have the question, and then you click the arrow, and you can choose whichever one is the right answer. Okay, and then you have a multiple choice grid. So that one is right here. And just to see what that looks like, click it. Okay, so here's the rows. So I wrote down the questions in the rows, and then here's the columns, which are the answers. And then click on the answer key. Of course, you would choose the right answer. Here's your point values. Then I selected require a response in each row. So this is, if you want there to be at least one answer in each row, you click on that. And then also you can limit it to one response per column. And then I also clicked an arrow here to shuffle the row order to mix it up a little bit. Okay, next is the checkbox grid, which is similar to the multiple choice grid. And that's right here. So same idea. So here are the sections of a paper, and then the student has to click on the boxes that fit with that section. So, and I set it up so that there's two boxes per section of the paper, or per row. So the intro, let's look at the answer key here. So the intro will have 2, main body has 2, the conclusion also has 2, and then 2 points each. Okay, and let's see the next two. So they also have short answer and paragraphs. Let's look at short answer. Okay, so for short answer, here's the question, and then the student writes the answer in the text box. Now for the answer key, you can add an answer there, but you don't have to. It's graded a little bit differently. So you'll have to go back and then grade each student's answer individually, and then we'll look at that later. But you can add answers if you want to as well, but I did not this quiz. So then you'll give their point value, click done, and then lastly is the paragraph question. So you have the instructions here, then the students will write in the text box paragraph. So then again, for the answer key there, for a paragraph there really is no answer, so you'll just have to go back and grade that individually. So we'll give them 5 points, and then we'll click done. So now you have your quiz. It's finished. It's automatically saved as you go along, so you don't really have a save button to click. Once you are finished with all your questions, then it's automatically saved, so you're basically finished. You can send it to the class. So if you click to send here, then it'll send an email with a link to every student. So you can do that if you want. Otherwise, you can exit out, and then it'll take you back to this page where you were setting up your quiz. Okay, so you're finished. You can set a due date if you want. So let's say you want this due by by the end of the week. This was a Monday class, and you want the students to complete this by the end of the week. You can set that if you like. So once it hits that date, then they will no longer have access to it. And along with the date, you can also select a time as well. All right, so now all you need to do is click the sign, and your quiz is posted in the classwork page. So if you want to organize this, I usually organize everything by weeks. So I'll just stick that under week 1, and you're finished. Now, to access it, you just click on it, and then you can click on the quiz that way. Okay. And this is what it'll look like for the students. I created a student account, so the students will click on their class. Every time you post anything new, whether it's an assignment or an announcement, it'll automatically post it on your main page, so they can access it that way, or else they can go to classwork, and then they can look under. So this is week 1, and then they'll see it here. They click on the quiz, then they can take the quiz. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and of course, if you have any questions, you can talk to any of the TEL members.